Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Feeling a little better today, but still not great. I am here to do a video today because if you saw in my community post, Autumn Fragrance is back, and this time I feel like she crossed the line, she ticked me off, and I want to talk about Meghan Cole, who, honestly, Meghan Cole and Autumn Fragrance could be the same person at this point. Well, let's get into the whole Autumn Fragrance thing real quick here. So, yesterday I did a video about Sean Doherty, a 12-year-old boy who died under very suspicious circumstances. It was ruled an unaliving, and his family is doing a social media campaign and trying to get people to sign their petition to get his case re-examined because the first investigation was awful. Autumn Fragrance decides to hijack the comments on a video about this 12-year-old boy to talk about Sammy. I feel like that's really inappropriate. That case has nothing to do with this case, and it just wasn't the place for it. She says Meghan Cole has cleared Sammy. When will you be posting your apology video? First off, I don't know Meghan Cole from Adam, so why am I supposed to just take her word for everything? Secondly, I'm not going to post an apology video. Until Sammy is cleared and I'm convinced, there will be no apology video. There will be if somebody can show me how wrong I've been about Sammy, but no, not now. Sammy left Prosser long before the accident unaliving. When the hell did we decide that it could have been an unaliving? What? And you don't face the music after the dance. What the F, lady? Remember the face the music quote, too. It'll come up again later. Then, one of my commenters basically wanted to know, what her problem was. And she says, at Pixelate Me, every little thing against Sammy. She does the daily report. Now Sammy is cleared, she keeps her mouth shut. No, that's BS, lady. I've got stuff on Sammy that I'm going to do a video about, but I've had these other cases, and I've been sick. Not that you care. I will get back to Sammy. But these other cases right now are very active, and I'm trying to keep up with them. Okay. That rant's over. So let's start talking about this lady, Meghan Cole. So these clips are from, hang on, I'm going to get it right. Behind the Crimes with Michelle Sutton. I had never heard of this channel. I saw Zav Girl playing the interview she did with Meghan Cole. That's how I found her. Love her. Southern girl. Her facial expressions are priceless. Yeah, she handled this interview really well. But here's the thing. It's an 8-hour and 53-minute live. It's almost 9 hours, y'all. So, I went and watched and I pulled out clips of the interview for you that I want you to listen to and evaluate for yourself if this woman is credible and has she cleared Sammy. My opinion is no. She's just another person who is coming to Saint Sammy's defense. And I don't know how I'm supposed to believe everything that she says and just be like, oh, well, Meghan Cole said it, so obviously Sammy's innocent. It doesn't work that way. But I'm not telling you not to believe it. I want you to listen to the clips that I picked out. Think it over for yourselves and make up your own minds of what you think about what she's saying, and does this clear Sammy or not? Like I said, it's almost a 9-hour live, but I'm going to link it in the description in case you want to watch it. go over there and show Michelle some love. Tell her this country girl's life sent you. Put a chicken in the comments. Whatever. Just show her some country girl love. Um, I've got 12 video clips. They're not all super long. Some of them are less than a minute. Some of them are more than a minute. I think the longest one is like almost 8 minutes. But like I said, remember these were clipped out of a almost 9 hour live. So if y'all feel inclined to give me a super thanks for giving you a highlight reel, please do. I'm just kidding. You don't have to give me a super thanks, but I did put in the work for you all on this one. Um, and I know you guys appreciate it. You tell me all the time you appreciate my work, and thank you. Thank you. Um, so we're going to dive into these clips, and then we're going to talk about them a little bit. And I'll point different things out to you along the way. So let's dive into this. I don't want this to be a hellaciously long video for you, but I think the clips that I picked out are important and a good variety of things for you to listen to form your own ideas and opinions. So let's get started with the first clip. Here we go. This one is only 37 seconds.
So how I know Sam is that my daughter was best friends with Sam for 4 years. We moved. I grew up in Truckee. I moved away and had a family, and I came back about 6 years ago after we had a family death in our family, and so my parents needed me back here. So when I came back here 6 or 7 years ago, that's when my daughter met Sam, and my son is also 18. So I've known Sam since then.
Okay, so somebody did ask that while ago. Somebody said something about the son, but the comments probably aren't going to go back that far about.
I saw my son is 18, and my son is the same. My son graduated with Sam.
Okay, so those are basically her credentials, I guess. Her daughter is, I believe, 20 years old and in college, so 2 years older than Sammy. And her son is the same age as Sammy, and they graduated together. If that means anything to you. Okay, the next clip is about 5.5 minutes. I'm going to step away for just a second, and I will be right back.
Facts. I know what happened, what Sam told me. Sam would have no reason to lie to me. I mean, she was a close friend of my daughter. My daughter and her were very, very close. My daughter is a straight A student and is going to Boise, Idaho for equine assistant therapy. She wants to work with special.
That is awesome.
So when I say this, my daughter, like when my daughter met Sam, her parents actually, my daughter talks to her mom and dad all the time, I guess. I didn't know that until recently. And I didn't even know her parents were lawyers. I'd never met her parents. I've only met Sam a handful of times, but I've talked to Sam through my daughter many times. So when I talked to Daisy, my daughter, I said, is this something that Sam would do? And Sam, none of these kids, none of these kids had any inclination that something was going to go wrong. That's how you have to start out this thing, is that this was a graduation party. They had done it at the end of the year. There was a Hot August Nights that is a big thing in our town, a big thing in this area. And that's down in Reno, which is about 25 to 35 minutes away. And they have all kinds of old cars that go through there that are decked out and everything else. That ended out the same night that this party ended. So that's kind of why there was so much focus on, did she run away, or did she get out of town for a while? That's what really kind of everybody thought at the beginning. That's where, so when I talked to Iqmael in those conversations, I drove around that day. My son and I that was in the house drove around that day looking for Kiely's car. I drove up on streets that my car right over there, I didn't think was going to make it at all. And I mean, it was just, I asked Sam a whole bunch of questions because I didn't really know how this was going to turn out. I really just thought that she was probably went down the wrong road, got a flat tire, and didn't have service. That was one avenue that we were going through. And when we say we don't have service, I could stand right here where I'm standing right now in my front yard and walk to the street and may not have service, because of where we live. It's the trees. And Verizon, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Unfortunately, that goes on a lot in this town. And if you talk to anybody, like they'll say, like it happened today where I had 3 people text me, and 4 hours later I'd already talked to them and texted them or whatever in a different way, and then all of a sudden I got in and I had 4 text messages that came through. So that's another reason why things don't always add up on time, maybe for some people, is that like I saw they texted me at 1:30, but I didn't see it till 3:30. And so therefore it can be different in that aspect. I don't think that had anything to do with the time thing for Kiely though.
No, I think the ping was an actual ping. Like,
yes, I think it was. Okay, so when I talked to Sam had said that she had gotten a ride home from someone, when I say gotten a ride home, all of my kids, me included, for 20 years, generations, for 20 years have done this. We have a really small town. When I was 20 years ago, when I graduated in 1997 from the exact same, or 25 years ago, I'm aging myself, 25 years ago, I had friends that did exactly the same thing that these kids did. They went out, they partied, they had, we had kegers. It's like a tailgate party. That's what it is.
Never watches these things. I've told
what's that?
I said, God forbid if my mama ever watches my lives. I've told on myself too much the last 2 days.
Well, and I think and that's really what it is too, is that these kids, everybody says there's no pictures, there's no nothing, they did say to these kids that there wasn't going to be they weren't going to get in any trouble or in anything else. However, with that being said, it's still how you may not be getting in trouble with the police or with anybody else, but you still have
back.
You put the mark on your back, and it puts your family in a position where, like my dad, he's I'm the sandwich generation, which I just realized recently. I didn't even know that was a thing. But my dad is 75, and he's a real estate worker, and he's been here for 40 years and doing that for 40 years. And he sells high-end real estate. So if you look at it that way and look at it from my perspective, my dad said, don't get involved. Like, just don't get involved. Your kids weren't there. Don't do it at all. But if it was my kid, I want my child, anybody's child. I'm going to stand up for the underdog here, because I don't think Sam did anything wrong. Did she make mistakes? Yes, without a doubt. But everybody keeps saying, why did she leave her at the party? Well, when you go out to these parties, I want to say it's parties, these kids all know each other. They've grown up together. These are like brothers and sisters from like every different generation. Like, they're neighbors, they're best friends, they've dated each other, they've got to know each other, and there is unfortunately a side of this town which it is wealthier, and other side of the town which is not as wealthy. And it's a very big pendulum swing.
All right, so Sammy has no reason to lie. They all knew each other. Remember that they all knew each other. And is this something Sammy would do? What is this? What is this? Let's see. Okay. Sorry, it's my husband's birthday today. I don't feel good, so I'm trying to check on things, and I'm not focused because I don't feel good. Here we go.
The first time I talked to Sam, I had asked her every question that Tony Dodd or any else was going to ask her. So she had already, when I asked her all these questions, I didn't know what they were going to ask her. I didn't know she was going to do interviews. I told her when I asked her the same questions. And so she had the answer, or had thought about it for me first. So therefore she had the answer ready. But that being said, she didn't change any of her questions or answers from me to Tony or to anybody else. So I asked some questions that were pretty straightforward, and I've talked to Jagger now. I've talked to people at the party. I've talked to all kinds of people. So I know a lot more now than I knew that night. I still, I have a theory of what happened. And it is just a tragic accident. I truly believe it's a tragic accident. And I know that there's going to be conspiracy theories that everybody has.
All right. So she basically prepped Sammy for her interviews. You can hear she says, I told her what to say and not, yeah, she told her what to say and what not to say. Even though she didn't say that, she almost said that. So in interviews, Odie, in interviews where Sammy starts stumbling around and like backtracking and things, it's literally because she's forgotten the script and now she's trying to go back and cover her ass. She's trying to get back on track with the narrative. And did you notice she's pushing the tragic accident narrative? That is apparently the Truckee way. If you're going to talk to somebody, you better push the accident narrative, right? Okay, next clip.
That's why this is very, very sad, because Sam got put on Front Street, and it's kind of like, don't shoot the messenger. She was the only one that came forward. She was the only one that put her face out there and said, this is what I know and this is what I don't know. And when I say that she was grilled for 8.5 hours, she was. So it's not that she, and so that's why the police trusted her. That's why the police were like, oh yeah, this is, they trusted her because they knew what they had already gone through what she knew.
I think that,
and like I told her,
I come up with last night, Sammy's undercover. Like,
oh, I 100%. I kind of agree with you on that. I kind of agree with you.
I'm trying to like find ways to prove that that's what it is now, because
I kind of agree with you on that, because I think that there is, because she wanted to find out. She wanted to find out what was going on and what people knew or what they didn't know, and so they were trusting that Sam was going to give them all the information that was needed. There was one person on here, and this is why I went to go talk to Sam that night, is there was a video going around comparing her to a serial killer in a different way. And I thought it was really, really, really in poor taste to have that out there.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, no, it got taken down because I talked to the FBI. And I got it taken down, or they took it down because they knew about it. But yes, it was very in poor taste. And these kids, they weren't ready for this. They were not ready for this at all. Like I say, I'm true crime. I watch all of them. I watch all the true crime stuff. And that's why I kind of had questions to ask Sammy. Looking back, if I could do it differently, I would.
Right.
All right, so Sammy on Front Street, right? The police trusted her, and she says that Sammy wanted to find out what people did and didn't know. Hell yes, she did, because then she knew, like, do I have to cover my ass? Like, what have they said already? She, like I said, it's hush meetings, right? Like, everybody's being told what they can and can't say. Everybody's being sold the narrative. Everybody is supposed to be pushing the same agenda here. So yeah, of course Sammy wanted to know what people knew. I love that she says that she got the video taken down by the FBI. Does the FBI just automatically talk to you if you're from Truckee? Like, if I call the FBI right now and I'm like, hey, I'm from Truckee and there's this video on YouTube and I don't like it, could you take it down? All right, next video.
Oh, can you explain how the party scene that was so big was cleaned up so fast?
Party scene. These kids, they were there all night. I talked to the people that cleaned up the next morning. These kids, they do it all. When I say do it all the time, I don't know that they do it all the time. Everybody keeps saying they do it all the time. Like they go out there to party, and like there might be 10 or 15 kids that go out and party and have a good time. Not all the kids do, but this is a party. Like I asked Sam, and I guess she did lie to me. I mean, I found out later that because I said, was it advertised anywhere? And she said, no. Well, it was. I found out later it was. I was like, well, thanks, Sam. So everything that Sam told me wasn't 100% truthful. Did I know it at the time? No. Do I still not know all the truth? Yeah. Some of these kids you have to understand too. They're not my kid. They're not mine. I mean, like you said, if my kid was involved in this, and I've had this fight with my son just yesterday, if my kid isn't doing this or is having this fight with someone, they're dead meat. Like there's so many things that I would not let my kids do that some of these kids do. With that being said, is that this town, and I'm sure our chief can probably elaborate on it too, is that it goes deeper than just what you want to do. These kids have been together since they've been born together. They've grown up together. And so it's ingrained in them, like literally DNA on how to act and how to behave and how this town is raised. If you don't leave this town and come back like I did or have an outside experience, you live in a bubble here. You only know what goes on in your town. Like when I say I grew up and I didn't know lots of things, I grew up and I went to a different high school and someone else played our song and I went, they can't play that song. That's a Truckee song. And they went, do you think AC/DC just made a song just for you guys? And I went, well, I did until right now. Like, just, you don't know. Like, you don't know anything different. So therefore, when I say these kids, they do all of this all the time. They also go wakeboarding. They go snowboarding. They go skiing. This was a party that was out in the boondocks.
Those things sound like typical teenage things. I mean, like, we're not even from a snow town or a mountain. But my kids go skiing and snowboarding and, we know how to do all those things and we're into all the extracurricular activities. And I have one that's 19. He's in the Army. And yes, he done stupid things. The majority of it, bless his heart, he wasn't smart enough to do it outside of my house, but he did. And, but
well, let me, and this is something
he didn't go into the party scene for very long when his conscience was like, this is not for me. So I guess you're right. And it's in the way that they're raised. Like I raised mine not to be involved in sketchy situations. Like, my biggest question is, if it was so scary, if there was really all these sketchy people at this party, why did they stay? And why in the world did she leave Kiely by herself? Like, it makes no sense.
Like I just said, there was other people at the party so she didn't leave Kiely by herself. Like, I talked to someone, like the guy that I mentioned that I talked to his mom. He's known Kiely just as long as he's met Kiely. He knows Kiely. He was there all night long. He was parked right next to her. So it's not that she left him alone or she was left alone. There was other people that she knew at the party. Did Sam leave the party? Yes. Did Sam make the right decision to go home with someone that was sober? 150% of the time that would be the right thing to do. But because of this situation, it wasn't. So, and then, if Kiely, it's how many times has someone said, I want to stay later, and someone's like, I want to go home. I'm done. I'm just done. And they go home. It's not, and if I've stayed the night out there. Let's not even go there, but I've stayed the night there many a times because your bearings just get very, very disoriented. There's no lights out there. When I say it's literally like trees and sky at nighttime. And if there's no moon, which I don't know if there was a moon that night, there's no light. There's no anything out there. So except for car lights. And when people are coming and going, they're not looking at the car lights. They're not looking at someone that's leaving or coming. They're just looking at cars. Like like you're driving down the freeway. Do you look at every single license plate that goes by you at 10 o'clock at night on the freeway? No. So when Sam went home, she went home and that's all she knew. And it's like, so she thought that Kiely was safe. When I asked Sam, I said, did you see Kiely when you left? Did you see Kiely? And she said, yes, she was walking back into the party and everything was fine. And there was other friends of hers there. This wasn't that she just got left like destitute by herself. She wasn't just in the middle of nowhere.
Well,
she was kind of.
She was in the middle of nowhere, but I couldn't leave someone that is supposedly so inebriated that,
I did ask her straight up. I asked her, I said, was she falling down drunk?
Only about yourself.
Well, I asked Sam, I said, was she falling down drunk? She said, no. I said, was she being carried? Was anybody carrying her from the car back and forth? She said, no. And I think that words are very, important here is that your drunk and my drunk might be completely two different drunks.
Okay. So if she's not fallen over drunk or whatever, then she was not that drunk to drive herself into a lake.
Well, that's what I asked Sam. I said, how was she? That's exactly what I said to Sam. I said, could she have gotten very far? And she said, no, she was too drunk to drive. Now, like I said, when you say someone's too drunk to drive and you're talking to an 18-year-old, my too drunk to drive and you're too drunk to drive, obviously there's a threshold there where
No.
you
If you've
you
had a sip, don't get in the car.
well, but let me explain that to you too. We live in a town where there's no one. There's no one out. Like the town rolls up at 8:30 at night. So if these kids are driving home and they know where they're going, they're not taking main roads. They're taking back roads and they're going home and they're going like they know how to get home. That's what everybody needs to understand is that when you're out there and you have and that's why I think, in my opinion, I know what happened to Kiely. But like I said, that's just my opinion. And I think that why she ended up where she ended up was because she was drunk and she realized it. And she realized that she was too drunk to drive. And so she pulled over to, and rolled down the windows because she was, and then crawled in the back seat. And when she crawled, and then when she crawled in the back seat, I think she accidentally hit her car into neutral and it went into the water. That's why she was in the back seat and she couldn't get out. Or something to that extent. Like it was because she was parked on the hill and went right in. I don't think that I think she actually hit the gear thing to go into neutral and that's why it went in. The one question I think that everybody's forgetting to ask was the car on?
Yeah, okay.
Was the car even
All right, that was the longest clip that I have for you. So don't worry, the rest are a lot shorter, but there was a lot there, right? So she says, she flat out admits Sammy lied to her. Everything Sammy told her wasn't the truth. Those were her words. So I guess, what, is she picking and choosing what to believe from Sammy? To me, that right there just shoots her credibility out of the water because she knows Sammy has told her lies. So how does she know what is a lie and what is the truth? The town, how this town is raised, again, with the weird language around that area, it kind of goes back to closing ranks at the celebration of life and everybody's got each other's backs. And, I feel like they're the kind of place that, like, if you're an outsider, they give you that look like you don't belong here kind of look. Like, they don't want outsiders. Like, they take care of their own and they don't need you, right? They don't want outside interference. Maybe that's why they were so pissed off at AWP. I don't know. And talking about the stuff that the kids do, that's nothing special. It doesn't make them better or different or anything. That's just stuff that kids do. Most kids do. Most teenagers do. Wherever you're from. Her theory, possible. Definitely possible. I'll give her that. It's a possibility. She says that Kiely wasn't falling down drunk. How many people have said she could barely walk, she could barely talk, she was stumbling around, she fell in a hole, all of that stuff, but she says no. And then another kind of her and Autumn Fragrance similarities, talking about the differences in like your idea of drunk and my idea of drunk. And Autumn Fragrance pointed out one time that there's different levels of being inebriated. And it's true. I will give you that. Everybody has a different definition, but it's very similar to Autumn Fragrance's narratives and ways of speaking. And she makes it sound like kids driving drunk on back roads is okay. Just because they're not on the main roads, it's okay? No, lady. Breaking news. Autumn Fragrance has commented again. She says it's wonderful that I'm doing this video today. And can I please include a video of Kiely's car driving into the reservoir long after Sammy departed Prosser? So if you haven't seen it, I'm sure you have. It's everywhere. The video of the car lights going into the water, or that's what it appears to be is happening. I would have included it today, but this is going to be a long enough video as it is. And like I said, I don't feel good and it's my husband's birthday. So we can get into that tomorrow if you want to. However, saying that she drove into the reservoir long after Sammy departed. I don't know what time Sammy departed because nobody will say who the hell Sammy rode with. That person has not come out and said, I gave Sammy a ride and we left at whatever time. I have no proof of what time Sammy left Prosser. And I'm not just going to blindly accept her word for what time she left Prosser. So, yeah, kiss my ass, Autumn Fragrance. Sorry, guys. When I don't feel good, one of my subs said, don't mess with a girl from Oklahoma. Well, really don't mess with her when she doesn't feel good, because the whole mouth brain filter thing just goes out the window. And I just say it how I feel, say it how I mean. I don't sugarcoat shit. So, all right, next video. This one is only a little over a minute. Here we go.
There are people that are more of a that have the bleeding heart that want to be able to help everybody and get everybody home. Now, when I say this too, you have to understand, not all of the kids that were at the party know each other. Not all of them did. Some of them were friends of friends of friends, like from what I've heard.
So why would you leave? I mean, my thing is, if she's as close to Kiely as she says she is,
I don't know that she was. I don't know that she was.
Put it out there very, very much so that they are so close and they were unacceptable. I mean, we don't believe that they were that close, because they're, I mean, she's got plenty of pictures with everybody else, but there's none of the two of them together. And this day and age, the kids, if they are hanging out, there's going to be some evidence that they were together. So I never got the feeling, but she put herself in the center like they were.
I also think that no one else stepped forward.
I don't know. I just get.
Oh, I know. You don't understand. Let me say this too. I've gone rounds in my head. Like everything that everybody else has gone through, in my head, I've done 10 times worse. Like, am I defending the wrong person?
All right. So I guess you have to be a bleeding heart to want everyone to get home safe. Now, if you notice, I told you in the beginning to pay attention, to take a note that everybody knew everybody, right? Now suddenly everyone doesn't know everyone. She flip-flops like Sammy. And this is all just in one interview. At least with Sammy, most of the time it's separate interviews where she says different things. But this lady literally said the exact opposite thing in the same damn interview. 1 minute everybody knew everybody, and now everybody didn't know everybody. Which is it? Make up your damn mind. She also brings up that Sammy's not close to Kiely, yet Sammy is trying to ram it down the world's throat that they were close. Again, which is it? Were they or not? And is Sammy lying to you about she wasn't close to Kiely, or did she lie to us about she was close to Kiely? I think she lied to us. I don't buy it that they were close. Not for a hot second do I think that those two were close. No, not at all. No one else stepped forward. I mean, God, how lucky are we to have Saint Sammy, y'all? I mean, if it wasn't for her stepping forward and taking one for the team. And then, am I defending the right person? So you've questioned it. That thought has gone through your mind. That says a lot. Are you defending the right person? And if she didn't do anything, why does she need to be defended? Okay. Next video.
Something I do want to clarify something that I said and I don't remember how it came up, or if I said something and it got bleeped because I didn't have service, or someone asked me and I said that. It's a possibility. When I said I hope they don't I hope they don't have to drag the lake. I was saying that.
Yes.
Yes.
I was like, why would she say, did they just, I mean, because I was like, I was driving and I heard that part, but Sav had missed it. And I was like, wait, did she just say, I hope they don't dredge the lake?
Let me explain. I think that at that point in time, when I said that, we were hoping she wasn't in the water. So we were at that point in time, we were hoping that she had gone away for the weekend, and like for whatever reason, she said she had a lot on her mind. I mean, she had a lot going on. She was graduating early. She had lots of stress on her life, And so therefore, I think that some people are taking that to be nonchalant. But if you are, and I said this too, if you're already in trouble with your parents, how many times, again, hope my parents don't hear this, how many times in your life have you said, you know, have you thought, I'm already in trouble? Like, I might as well have fun with my night because I'm already going to be grounded when I get home. Like, I'm already in trouble when I get home, so I might as well just enjoy enjoy my freedom, because after this I'm not going to have any more fun. You know what I mean? So when I say that I hope they don't drag the lake, it's a really mucky lake and it's horrible. It's not a clean lake. And that's what I was meaning by that. It's not that I wish that they hadn't. Obviously I wish they had.
Okay. Because I was like, why would did she say that? Why would she say that? That one was like probably like one of my, and I could have swore, and we hadn't gotten to it, but I thought you at one point had said, at this point, Sammy has nothing to hide. Like
she doesn't.
Immunity. So I was
well,
like,
I also want to say this too, and I want to say this too, because maybe it might clarify some people. Sammy has been hooked up to a lie detector test, the same as Jagger has. They were interviewed for 8.5 hours with an armed guard walking next to them hooked up to a lie detector and grilled for 8.5 hours by the FBI. So if she had anything to hide at that point in time, they would have found it.
Let's see.
All right, so she got a lot of trouble keeping that drug and drag separate, right? And the lake is dirty. Did you see the AWP video? It was pretty damn clear. And what's his face? Found the laptop. Check it TV. He put his phone in the water and it was very clear. I do not consider that a mucky, unclean lake. Again, the autumn fragrance narrative. Kiely had all this stress in her life. Autumn Fragrance likes to say that she was drunk driving and she was so distraught because the family was selling the lodge and she graduated early and was going to college and blah, 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 blah. This lady's saying the same damn thing. Sammy and Jagger are doing an 8.5 hour lie detector test with FBI. Maybe they did. I don't know. But if Sammy passed, how come she hasn't been cleared? They said Jagger was cleared, right? I mean, it was early on, but it's going around now that Jagger's clear, right? Law enforcement has never cleared Sammy. And why did she need a criminal defense attorney if she already passed a lie detector test from the FBI? Why does she need a criminal defense attorney now? Recently? I don't know. I could go on. All right, next video. I think this one is a short one. We're almost done, y'all. Like I said, remember these clips came out of what was almost a 9-hour live. Michelle, bless you. I don't know how you did a 9-hour live. But here's our next clip.
I do know what was in Kylie's system. I do know when the last time she had ingested substance that's drug related. So I don't think that it would have had anything to do with the party.
Right, but I'm just saying in general, like, is this like, because they were very adamant that there was nothing.
No, there was coke at the party.
Not nothing, that there was more at this unusual drugs at this party than what they normally have.
They normally have, I wouldn't even say normally. I don't really know. From what I've heard, there was weed and coke at the party. I've heard other things after that. I asked Sam straight out. I said, was there any hallucinogenics that you guys took? And she said no. And so that was ruled out right away. That never came up. Someone did say that Kiely had coke in her system. Yes, she probably did. But I know that talking to someone that when she did it last and it didn't, and from hoping that my parents never see this either, that I know for a fact that wouldn't have, the timing it would have helped her, not have affected her in this instance.
This one, y'all. So another thing Autumn Fragrance likes to do is make it sound like she knows what Kiely had to drink that night, what Kiely had in her purse that night, what she had in her dab bag that night. How in the hell does this lady know what Kiely did and when she did it? How does she know if Kiely did coke, and how does she know the last time she ingested it if she wasn't fucking there? Sorry, excuse my language. How the hell does she know? She couldn't possibly. So, and she heard there was weed and coke at the party, but no hallucinogenics. We all heard there were mushrooms there, and I don't do drugs, but I'm pretty sure those are hallucinogenics, right? And then the statement about it would have helped her, not affected her. What? Oh, okay. Moving on.
Ellie, because everybody knows Sam, and they were willing to. More people would trust a child to talk to them. That's why. And as for the Fight Club, it's more. I don't know what the Fight Club thing started, and Sam didn't mention it to me. I heard about it later. I've seen boxing gloves. She did say there was a friendly fight. She did tell me that night that there was a few friendly fights, just to get the party going, like, and have some fun and break up the tension. That they were boxing each other, but they had boxing gloves, so it's not like they were actually fighting. It was more just.
We've seen videos of those fights, and it was supposed to be friendly fights, but those are not friendly fights. I don't care what nobody says.
You have to understand too. Our kids are a different breed. These kids are tough. They're very tough. They play football. We all know how to change our own oil. We don't ask for help. These girls, they're smart, and they're, and these kids, because we don't have anything in our town like a bowling alley. We don't have a movie theater. We don't have things we have sports. So these kids play a lot of sports like rugby, soccer, baseball, football. I mean, that's what they play. So even though it's like, it look like it's friendly fighting to other people, they're not being mean to it. They're not punching each other in the face. They're not giving each other black eyes. They're not, they might be rough. It's like wrestling with your brother or sister with boxing gloves. Like, it's not trying to hurt someone. It's just so I think that's the best way to describe that. I don't really know about the Fight Club. I guess that's all I can explain on that.
All right, so tension at the party. It's a party. You're supposed to be celebrating the graduating class and having fun, right? What was the tension at the party that needed to be broke up with friendly fights, and how does that break up tension? And the kids are a different breed. Hold, please. All right, sorry, my daughter is assisting me with something right now. All right. The kids are a different breed crap. Oh, my camera went off. Yep. My camera went off. Hang on. Got technical difficulties going on here. There we go. Okay, I am so sorry. The kids being a different breed, the stuff that she talks about them doing other than the Fight Club. Yeah, my kids don't have Fight Club, but everything is normal kid stuff to do. So, all right, let me see here. Where are we? God, I'm so sorry for being unorganized. If you're not already a subscriber to this channel, I would encourage you to do so. They are not usually this bad. I'm usually way more organized. Like I said, there's a lot of distraction today. I don't feel good. It's my husband's birthday. So yeah, please subscribe. I promise you the other videos are better. You can go back and watch some of my previous videos, and you can see that they're not usually this bad. This is not a good day to do a video. All right, we've only got 3 more to go, and here we go.
Yes. Do you know who Sammy rode with? That is
I do.
Big... Okay. Is it a minor?
that drove her home?
Yes.
Yes.
Or we don't know who took her to the party either, because she didn't go with Kylie. She was there when Kylie.
No,
got
I
there.
know who took her to the party and who picked her up and took her home. And I know the name, and I know who the people are.
Are they minors or
Yes.
18? They're minors.
No, they're 18. They're 18.
Oh, so Sammy could have told their names then, because I just thought maybe that she wasn't like, because people were
No,
like,
she could have said their name, but a lot of I think a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the reason why these kids are not named is that just exactly what you said 2 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago, is that if you look at these kids, they're going on to college. They're going on to make other things. Hold on. They're going on to do other things, and their families did not want them involved. They didn't want their names out there. And so they chose to keep those names to themselves. Why bring in something else that someone's going to debunk or run all over with?
All right, so she knows who Sammy rode with. So does Autumn Fragrance. But they will not tell us who it is. And this could really clear up stuff for Sammy. If you want to clear Sammy's name, just tell us who she rode with. And then if they can verify that they gave her a ride and what time they left, I might be a little more confident in Sammy. Not completely, but more. Why is it like a damn national secret who the hell she went and left the party with? Apparently they're 18, but the kids are going on to college and families don't want them involved. Same shit Autumn Fragrance says all the time. How, by saying I'm the one that gave Sammy a ride home from the party, is that going to affect your college aspirations and future life goals? It wouldn't. All right. These next two, one is only 39 seconds and one's a minute 30. So 2 more minutes and we're done with the video clips, I promise. But remember,
I want to know what happened just as much as the next guy. Like, I think that's really what like, if there's someone that did something wrong, anybody, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a child. I don't care if it's an adult. I don't care if it's, something was said that, something happened and they are covering it up. That person does need to come forward. They need to say what happened. They need to face the music and they need to say that I did this, or this is what happened. With these kids, I don't think they're smart enough to be vindictive and
all right, again, want to know who did this? Did what? You just told us it was a frickin' accident. Make up your mind and face the music. Do you remember at the beginning, Autumn Fragrance's comment to me was about facing the music? Coincidence? All right, last clip.
I'm a girl and I have a son, and my daughter's 20 years old, and they have obviously got to her through me. And so my daughter and I have debunked things throughout the thing. And it is eerie to me, because if there's someone in this town that is this vindictive and scary and has this train of thought through their heads, it's scary because you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who's there. You don't know what person did this. It's like that's a whole different side of what people haven't even really come to consideration for us. Like, I was at a gas station 2 weeks ago, and there was an incident that happened, and it was 11:30 at night, and I ended up calling the police, and it took 15 minutes for the police to get there. And I was like, how does it take 15 minutes for police to get here in a town that at 11:30 at night when the rolls up and there's nothing going on? And there was literally no one. And it was like, well, we're on our way to you. Well, why are you on your way to me? I mean, it takes you 15 minutes to get from one side of town to the other in this town, like at that time of night. And they came from a direction where they shouldn't. When the police came, they came from a direction that should have taken them 5 minutes to get to me. So if you're really saying that you're patrolling, you're really doing these things, and you're really out there to help people out, again, this town is sometimes you wonder.
All right, again, it's scary because you don't know who did this. Who did what, lady? You said it was an accident. And they got to her daughter? Who got to your daughter? What? Make it make sense. I have reached out to her, just so you know, to ask her if she would be willing to talk to me for one of my videos on my channel. I haven't heard back from her. And, you know, she probably wouldn't want to talk to me because I will call her out on her bullshit. And when she flip-flops her stories, I would call her out on it. But stay tuned. So, like I said, I find a lot of similarities between her and Autumn Fragrance. I don't know. Do you think she's credible? Should we believe her? Did she clear Sammy? There was more stuff I was going to go over today, but like I said, it is my husband's birthday, and you can see that I'm trying to check on things and get things done before he gets home from work. But I want you to take everything I've thrown at you today, and remember, these are just snippets of what was a 9-hour live. You can go watch the whole thing if you want to, but I think this was a good variety of what was discussed and what was said by this woman. Think it over and consider it, and then come to your own conclusions, come to your own ideas and opinions about the situation. I've said it 1,000 times on this channel. I will never try to push my beliefs off on you. I like to present you with things and let you come up with your own thoughts about them, and then comment and we will discuss it. Like I said, if you want to give me a super thanks, do it. Otherwise, just give me a thumbs up because that's free. And if you aren't already subscribed, please do so. And share this video. Let's get it out there. So everybody can kind of make up their own minds about this woman. And does this help Sammy's case? Does it clear Sammy? I don't think it does. I need more information. But I thank you all for being here with me for almost an hour and listening through the interview clips with me. And now I just ask that you take a little bit of time and consider them for yourselves, and then comment and let me know what you think. Tomorrow I will have some more videos. Hopefully tomorrow I will be feeling 100%. And that's really all I got for you. So I hope y'all are having a great morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are, and that you've got great plans for the weekend ahead. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. And as always, I will see you all in the next one.